everyone, and welcome back to PoducateMe, the ESL podcast. And today, Hannah and I are very happy to welcome our wonderful guest, Raz.
Hi, Ross. Applause,
Hello.
applause.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to
Happy
you.
Saturday.
So,
Thank you for
thank you for joining us. We're so excited to talk to you today. So we actually know Roz. We've known Roz for a little while now. We actually worked together at the same school, and
Mhm.
Roz was one of the faculty members there. And you know, Roz is such a bright light of joy every time he comes by, every time he comes into the office to chat, and we always catch up in the mornings. And it's always been such a great time working with Roz. And then, we have become friends outside. And yeah, and there's some really interesting things that we thought we wanted to talk to you about, and a couple of interesting or exciting things that have happened to you recently. And I think one of the main things that we wanted to talk to you today was that you have recently become a Canadian citizen. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Oh, beautiful. Yay.
Boop, 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 boop.
And so, yeah, we wanted to talk to you about, becoming a Canadian citizen. And, you know, oh,
Go
I love
Canada,
it. I love
go.
the merch. And as well as, as you have been living here in Canada, you've also become just so involved in the community. And it's been so like inspiring, I think, and
Mhm.
such a great thing that you have been doing. And we wanted to like talk to you about it, and maybe even educate ourselves, maybe how to get involved. So yeah, thank you so much again, Roz.
And welcome,
Thank you.
welcome.
Really appreciate that. It's really a privilege and an honor to share my modest experience with you ladies and with whoever is going to listen, to this interview. And hopefully, it's a continuous learning process. It's a continuous progressive learning process for everyone involved.
That is so
You're
true.
right, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive right in.
Let's dive right in. Okay. And first, about you becoming a citizen, a Canadian citizen, we have a question for you about the process. So, what was the citizenship process like for you? And were there any funny or unexpected moments?
Oh, okay. To make it the decision to really become a Canadian citizen was actually a very important decision because when I came to Canada back in October, 20, I still remember my landing day, October 27. I was invited to join a university as a postdoctoral fellowship researcher, and I was on a temporary work permit. And I came from France before coming to Canada. I was in France for 15 years.
Wow.
And, being a Syrian, of a Syrian citizen, ship holder, so it has been quite challenging in terms of professional mobility.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I came here. It was a rewarding experience. After first 3 years here, I really decided to apply for the permanent residency, given the space of growth that the country offers and the diversity of people that you have here. So when I first, of course, as everybody knows, that you really need to become a permanent resident, and then once you become a permanent resident, you need to meet certain number of days to qualify to apply for Canadian citizenship, which I did. And everything went perfectly fine given the fact that the 7 years were in Canada. So there hasn't been a lot of, and just coming out of a permanent residency. So all admin procedures were pretty much fresh in terms like, clearance, da-da-da-dee, and I wasn't really traveling a lot.
Mhm.
So submitted the application. I still remember it was November 2022, November 2023. If I remember,
Uh-huh.
yeah, November 2023. And then actually it was bounced back that I did. You would think that, you met the number of days because I don't know how the system works. So apparently I was a few days behind. Anyways, making a long
No.
story short, exactly. And making a long story short, I just after I waited for a 1 month and then I reapplied immediately because everything was fresh. Thank God I didn't have to really start all the way. They kept everything. So I sent everything and then everything is automatic. I guess Helen, you would know that because
I
I'm
do.
not sure. It was automated at the time, the online application
Yeah,
process. So
I
you
did that
go in.
online too.
Yeah. So you have all the steps, you go from one step after the other. So I was always excited to really see how the progress moving on. And then and in parallel, I was in an interim position working in the private industry before I assumed my current faculty position, making again everything went perfectly fine, and then suddenly I was interviewed. I was called for the interview. I went to the interview, and then afterward everything came to a hold. And always like checking, and which is the background check and clearance.
Hmm.
So did my Google search all the time. Apparently, this has been a common factor where, applicants would face. And then, of course, during the entire process, something very important. Again, I do not want to promote anything, but uh, I think it's very important to make an acknowledgement here. The YMCA immigration services
Hmm.
are outstanding,
They are.
literally.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
So
So
they
ever
can
since
consult the process for
for free.
immigration?
Hmm.
Wow,
They do
that's
provide a lot of help and
very
support.
useful.
Yeah.
So when I arrived actually to Canada, I was in Hamilton. The first thing I did was I went to the YMCA Immigration Services, and then the lady there uh, was my coach in helping me when I was reapplying for my temporary work permit renewal, and then the preparation for my permanent residency, and then the preparation for the citizenship application.
Wow.
So they are really, truly, truly helpful in really at least making sure at our end as applicants, and you're talking with an expert, you actually don't leave any stone unturned. So
Yeah.
you don't leave any matter for unnecessary surprises. So everything was just perfectly fine, except that this background. And then a follow up with IRCC was like no reply as usual. It's a well known fact. Everybody knows about it. I'm not pinpointing things. It's
Hmm.
public knowledge for some reasons. And then I reached out to her. She says that there's nothing we can do. And then she recommended that I reach out to my local MP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
because the local MP, the local MP could actually at least facilitate the inquiring where is the delay and what's the reason behind it.
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah. And this is when, because the average turnaround time was at the time when I applied was 1 year.
Hmm.
So I applied in December. So and everything went perfectly fine. It was between May and December, there was silence, and I couldn't understand what was going on. And of course, being in a limbo, coming from the country where I come from, thank God now things are changing.
Yeah.
So it was quite devastating, I have to say. So the the MP assistant, the office, they were really very kind to really help me in making these inquiries. But again, even with their positions, unfortunately, the IRCC was very ambiguous in the sense that they tell you, oh, it is still in that stage. What we know it is in that stage. What is the reason behind the delay? And they wouldn't tell you.
Yeah.
So Ras turned on the researcher mode.
Started
And
razzmatazing.
oh
Okay.
my God. And then I started, okay, well, I mean, they keep saying that it's a third party doing the clearance on the behalf of IRCC. So what's the story?
Hmm.
So I kept on go on Google, and there is a plethora of information and knowledge that, an individual can find out. Making a long story short, obviously in a country, any country, the border control and the secret intelligence agencies
Hmm.
would be the first two agencies that would in fact uh, be involved in the clearance process.
Be the
That's the
third
first.
party. Hmm.
Exactly. And of course, I looked on wide range of like, immigration law firms as well. And they also mentioned the same thing. So there is a lot of information. So I digged in deeper and then I found out that if there is a delay beyond reason that they are obligated to give you an answer. And if they don't give you the answer, then you have a due process. We are in Canada. I did my citizenship test and I know what it means. I prepared very hard for it and I got 19 over 20.
Very
Congrats.
good.
Yes,
Nice.
I literally dedicated over 100 hours of preparation
Wow.
for
Wow.
the test. So I know exactly what's
The test
going
is
on.
like a legit test. Like you have to
I
Oh, yeah.
study.
remember when you were taking the
Yeah.
test, you were going over some of the questions, and like I came up, I was born in Canada. I could not answer half of those questions.
You have to study. You have to study for the
Two
test.
things, in fact. There are NGOs that offer free
Yeah.
citizenship preparation, which I
Mhm.
did.
Yeah.
Number one, through the Toronto Public Library. And the second thing, there are apps that would really help you practice the citizenship test. So I had that app. It was recommended by a friend of mine, and it had 20 different
Test.
practice
Versions. Yeah.
in addition to another 30
Mhm.
complementary tests. I did them all.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
I
also, like a good thing that was recommended to me by a friend, and I guess that it did help me a lot as well. The booklet, the one that you can
oh,
download
absolutely,
on the official website.
Mm.
Read the booklet, write down the names, the dates, whatever stuff, because most of the
absolutely.
questions are about the information in the booklet.
Yeah, but it sounds like it's such a long process to become a
Yeah.
Canadian citizen, and you can do everything perfectly like you did, like all the research and making sure that all the documents are there and submitted on time and studying and everything, but it still takes a long time. So I guess it takes a lot of patience. It is a lot of anxiety, right? Because you're waiting for so long and for results and answers and things like that. But
Hmm.
um, in the end, I guess it's very worth it, right?
Totally.
Oh, absolutely. And for people who don't know, if you always refer to law firms, I mean, this is a process that's very expensive. You're talking
Yeah,
$5,000 to $15,000. Not all people have such resources.
of course.
So I had to dig in deeper and be my own lawyer, defend my case. And there are due process here
Yeah,
in Canada. This is not something to be taken very lightly. I
yeah,
had to go through that process, and I got it.
that's
I
amazing.
would never forget March 13th, lucky 13th, this year. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
when actually that was the day when actually I did the ceremony,
The
the oath.
ceremony.
Yeah, so it was wonderful.
How did it feel? Did you do it online or in person?
I made the decision to go online because if you do it in person,
Mhm.
it's going to be further delayed, and I just
Mhm,
want to get
mhm,
it done. But the organizing was very impressive,
mhm.
very, very impressive. And the judge, who was also the son of an immigrant family, I think from Malaysia, if I remember correctly, it was remarkable. I don't want to mention numbers, but we were tens and tens of different Zoom windows,
Mhm.
whether as an individual like myself or families. It was great. When you look at the colorful mosaic of that Zoom, it is, in fact, the colorful
Yeah.
mosaic of
And I
society.
love how people come with like Canadian flags and the flags in the background and like t-shirts and like
Oh,
whatnot. Oh, it's so beautiful and so hearty.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's such an
Uh,
important day, right?
do you see it in the background? Do you see the
Yes,
flag?
we do
Of
see
the
the
flag?
flag.
I still have that flag hanging up there ever since that day.
Oh,
Nice.
that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you actually mentioned two really great resources here, right? The YMCA taking
Mm-hmm.
advantage of those resources as well as the public library system.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mhm.
so great here, and they provide so many like um, sessions and workshops and like not just for immigration purposes, but like everything, right?
For
Like language
everything.
learning,
Language
for
learning, for
like starting
starting
businesses,
businesses.
um, so many amazing things that are just free for anyone. So it's so great that you were able to find those and take advantage of those. That's really good.
I also would like to add, even as a temporary resident, permanent resident, or Canadian citizen, you can go to the YMCA Employment Services, and
Yes.
they offer you, we're talking about integration. A lot of people come in, the work environment is different, professional perceptions of your experiences that you're bringing from outside is very different. So
That's
they
right.
really help you. How can you better reconfigure your professional portfolio and profile and making it in match with what the job market requires here in Canada, including enrolling you with free of charge seminars and workshops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly. Exactly. Oh, okay, awesome.
Awesome.
Great, like tips and advice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so another question just about, so we want to talk to you about, how you've become so involved in your community. So after becoming a Canadian citizen, what made you want to become more involved in the community?
Oh, Ras, as an extrovert person, has always been a people person and always been involved in any community he has been involved with. I've been an expatriate ever since I went to university.
Yeah.
So since the 1990s, I studied in Lebanon and then moved to the Gulf countries and then moved to Europe and now in Canada. Believe it or not, in every single professional or contexts, I've always been involved in the community.
I
So
do believe it so much.
I do too.
It's not hard to believe, Ross.
thank you. That's kind of you. I'll take that as actually a privileged compliment. So let's given the fact that we're in Canada and the context is Canadian society. So even when I came to Canada as a researcher, I was involved in a university hospital as a volunteer, and yes, back in Hamilton. So I was in the children's hospital, part of what we call guiding patient services, because of the personality I have. And it was really amazing because you're helping people moving into different directions where they need to go. That experience where I realized the extensive diversity of the Canadian society,
Yeah.
because you've got like patients from all walks of life, nationalities, ethnicities, and so on and so forth. And given the fact that I'm multilingual, that gave me the edge because some of those guys are they don't speak English.
That's very true. How many languages do you speak, Roz?
4.
4.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
True polish.
So that has literally given me the edge.
Yeah.
Back in France, back in Italy, I was involved in refugee communities as well. So when I was at the hospital, some of them are of that state. You could really tell, and language barriers, cultural, differences, and so on. So I learn a lot. Oh my God, I literally owe big time of my cultural savviness for the Canadian Society to McMaster Children's Hospital and my supervisor there. She really was very supportive, and I learned a lot. And then later on, always involved in any work context with the community. Like in the university when I was working, I organized like Halloween parties, Christmas
Yeah.
parties. Oh my gosh! Oh my!
You're so
It's
good at that type of
Yeah.
thing. You're so good at organizing these events
And
and
the
like
energy you're
and the
bringing to
energy you
them.
bring. Yeah, yeah. It's really something to see.
So when I got that privilege of becoming a Canadian citizen, I wanted to really experiment and experience the full-fledged of becoming a citizen. Because unfortunately, I come from a country up until recently, we were deprived of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So March was the big day
Golden
when,
month.
yeah, the
The
Canadians.
start of a new era.
April was the federal elections. Mamma
That's
mia.
right.
I was immediately on board. So I went to my constituency and I volunteered in the canvassing during the federal elections. And then later on, uh, I was also part of the counting as what is called scrutineering.
Yes.
Scrutineering means you will be representing your candidate, a nominated candidate, and you would really observe the process. And I tell you, as a researcher, I have 90, no, there's nothing called 100%. I have 99% confidence in the Canadian election system
Nice.
because of the way it's been designed, the meticulousness, the documentation process. It's fabulous. It's absolutely fabulous. That was in April. And then towards the end, in early May, the Prime Minister Carney became the Prime Minister, and he selected his cabinet ministers. And the writing candidate that won is the person I supported. And then recently, his office campaign actually invited all the volunteers to
Oh,
go to the parliament so we can really be in the swearing for him being an MP.
Yeah.
oh
Roz
wow.
was in Ottawa a couple of weeks ago, right?
Nice.
So
I didn't
there you
know that.
go. Boop, boop,
Parliament,
boop.
Parliament.
He
I
got
love
himself
it.
some
You came
merch.
prepared. You came
So,
prepared, Russ.
so literally, we went there. It was a long day, but we went there. We were part of the process, very well received, very well organized. So you literally see what you have become is being represented at the top level of the government.
Yeah.
It's
Nice.
hard to put my feelings in words.
It's like seeing the efforts, right? The things that you have done for the campaign and things like that to
Hmm.
see it come to fruition. It's like I guess very rewarding. It must have been very rewarding for you to be able to go there and see the swearing in and everything, right?
And it's so great that you feel so small, but small part of something so
So
beautiful
big.
and big. It's just remarkable. When we went into the parliament, the different blocks, we saw the Senate's building, the Prime Minister office, the cabinet ministers' buildings, even the process itself when he did the swearing, and we were offered the opportunity. There was the photographer, the parliament photographer, who took actually pictures through the entire process, and then our candidate, he came and, in fact, the clerk, the parliament clerk said, you will have the opportunity to take one-to-one photo with your MP, which we did. We were 25. Whether some of us were individuals, others were in families. So that element of modesty and involvement and engagement
Hmm.
is just beautiful.
Oh, that sounds like such a great experience. What would you say is like what was the what was something that stood out the most during this time that you were volunteering?
I think the level of openness for engagement and the diversity.
Yeah. I remember you were telling me about like when you were canvassing all of the interesting people that you met, that you were canvassing together with and their stories. And it just seems like, and they're all in your community too, right? So it's such a great way to like see such a diverse group of people that you've never even like you wouldn't really cross paths with
Hmm.
on a regular day. But it's such a great opportunity, right? To see those different types of people, different lifestyles, different backgrounds.
Oh, I mean, I'm in Toronto Center. I'm part of Toronto Center
Yeah,
Riding, in fact. And when I was canvassing, I literally knocked the doors of more than probably 600 doors, 600
it's
families
amazing.
within such a very short period of time. I was very fortunate because I was in break time between two different teaching cycles. So I
Hmm.
had that leverage. So I was putting in the hours. So, oh my God, that it's truly a bidding hard of a normal society. You see the top, and you see those who are at the bottom of the pyramid and
Hmm.
in between. I learned so much about different neighborhoods, between, let's say, the church all the way to the valley. I think, is it called Don Valley?
Don Valley.
Don Valley.
And from Bloor all the way to Front Street. So it's a huge, and then you walk. I mean, one house I will never forget, when I was like doing the canvassing.
Hmm.
They still have outdoor lanterns on gas.
Oh, that
And it
is
was
so
on. I
cool.
mean, honest to God, where would you find
That
this?
is so cool.
It's a brilliant, brilliant.
Oh,
And
So
then
it was also like a real adventure for you. to
Oh,
go
big
there
time.
and meet all new people, see the gas lamps, and exploring the area.
Some of the doors you see, for example, when we knock on these doors, some of the doors, like, apparently people, there is a high turnover. So you would ask as though they would tell, oh no, we're not so and so. And then, the curiosity of Raz says, oh, are you voting? Oh no, I'm actually a student or a permanent resident. And my natural response to him, oh, I was in your position. Hopefully soon you will have the privilege to apply for citizenship and you will not vote. It's a great feeling and a great
Aw.
experience. So again, yeah,
And
I'm
look
sure
at
that
you.
and I'm sure that you made so many people smile
Yeah,
on
and gave
those
them the
walks.
motivation to go
Yeah.
on because, like, as you both know, it's such a long, stressful process. But to like
Hmm.
give them just a little bit of optimism and hope, it probably means
Yeah,
so
like,
much for
hey,
them.
I've been there.
Yeah,
It's tough, but it's doable. Yeah.
just be patient.
yeah,
Just be patient. Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, so exciting. Okay, and Raz, do you have a piece of advice for someone new to Canada who wants to connect with their local community? What would you
Oh,
say where
absolutely.
they should start?
Thank you. This is really, really great question. Now, depending on the context, uh, I suggest whoever comes new to Canada, the first door you would really need to go and knock is the YMCA. Truly,
Mm,
there are similar, actually, other organizations that would really help new settlers settle in. They will give you guidelines,
yeah,
and educate. There is something called cultural education or cultural proficiency.
Hmm.
When we come over, there is what we call cross-cultural communication.
yep,
Hmm.
For some, it might become a really challenge. One of them is language.
yep,
So such organizations would really mitigate that effect and help you and guide you through the process and help you at least the beginning of the integration process
yeah,
in the society. And then once this is done, then volunteering. So I wanted to reach the point of volunteering. So such organizations will really offer you where would be depending on your social context where you come from,
Hmm.
would be best to go and volunteer. And given the fact that they're going through them, so there is an element of legitimacy.
yes, that's right.
Yeah, which is very important.
Yeah. And there's a lot of even I believe probably within the YMCA, they are able to um send you out to like different
Hmm.
volunteer roles or like they're able to let you know. I believe they have probably like newsletters or bulletin boards with volunteer opportunities locally. So like food
Mhm.
banks, hospitals, community centers, all of these types of things.
Now, important point I would like to elaborate here. Thank you so much. That's a very good point that you mentioned, Hannah, is that it doesn't mean that if I'm saying, oh, the YMCA is going to be your source, that you're going to put all your eggs in one basket. No, it's also a self-driven process.
Yeah.
So it's uh, you go online, volunteer opportunities in the city where you are. Now we're in Toronto, so in Toronto or in GTA, so you will have all those things. Now, if there are some language barriers, then the Y or similar organizations would be the source to really start from. Other than that, if you're fully autonomous, we're talking about community centers, hospitals. But mind you, important fact is when you volunteer into any community context, whether healthcare, education, you name it, you go through a vetting process.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
oh, I want to go and volunteer to that, and then you're in. No. When I was at McMaster Children's Hospital, and even when I came to Toronto, immediately I applied at Mount Sinai Hospital as a volunteer.
Hmm.
In both cases, I had to go through a vetting process that took almost 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. You have to take the initiative as well, right? Like
Yeah.
you have to,
But also, it does make sense. There
yeah.
would be some
Of
kind of
course. Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
vetting process, especially if you want to work with children
Of
or people
course.
in general.
Yeah, these are called most vulnerable. So the highly
Yeah.
vulnerable
Hmm.
people. So you need to get police clearance and so
Yes.
on. Volunteering is important because it's not only integration, but it's also networking.
Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely. It's yeah, just a great opportunity in either way, right? Professionally, you can network, but also like you learn so much about different people, and it really helps to open your mind and
Mhm.
everything, right?
But
So
it's
Raz,
also expectation, by the way, Hannah, here in Canada. When we studied, probably Helen remembers that you are expected as a member of the society to volunteer. It is an
Yes.
expectation.
Mhm.
Yep, exactly.
That's true.
We start that at a very young age, having to volunteer within our school system. It's a requirement, actually.
It's a requirement,
Yeah,
mandatory.
it's mandatory.
The number of hours.
So
Yeah.
Raz, one of our last questions here, just looking back at your journey here in Canada, what is something that you would say that stands out that you're like very proud of?
Ah, the level of engagement and progress.
Mm, from yourself or from the people around you?
I think I don't want to sound like self-centered, but it is, I guess, from myself. It's very tough,
Of
not
course.
easy.
Self-love.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
personal growth?
Yeah.
It's not a walk in the park to make a decision to come and emigrate to Canada.
Yeah.
So I think we have to say this very explicitly. The notions that dreamland and everything is easy, maybe way back, I don't know at what time, but now we are at times where when you make the decision as an adult immigrant,
Yeah.
Mhm.
as an adult immigrant in mid-career, you want to make a decision to come to Canada, be prepared.
Mhm.
Be prepared to start from zero.
Yeah, from scratch.
Which means resilience is important and opportunity for growth are there as long as you're willing to work on them.
Beautiful.
I love
love
the
it.
advice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, and to finish our interview is our usual rubric already, I guess, is a quick fire round. So in a quick fire round, Raz, we're gonna ask you 3 questions, okay? And for these 3 questions, please answer whatever comes to your mind first. Like
Okay.
whatever thing comes to your mind. Okay, are you ready? Okay,
Three,
let's go.
way.
Question number 1. Favorite Canadian season?
Summer.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Question number 2. The most Canadian thing you have done so far?
Volunteering.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah. And question number 3. One thing you always tell friends or family back home about Canada?
One thing I would like to combine them both together, diversity and progress.
Diversity and progress.
Wow. Those
These
are really
great.
great
Yeah.
answers, Roz.
By progress, I mean, personal progress, because I believe in progress, but not perfection.
Yes,
Mhm.
of course,
Yeah.
of course. Well, Roz, thank you so much. I can't believe how fast this conversation went. It's been so interesting to like get all of the details, and it's so inspiring,
It is
really.
very inspiring. And
Thank
how you managed to tell your story in such a short period of time, but it was great. Awesome. Congrats once again, Ras. And yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
you.
We'll be looking forward to interviewing you again, maybe about something else.
Yeah,
Yes.
that would be great.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, Ras. And you guys don't forget to follow us on Instagram at PoducateMe or send us an email at eslpoducateme@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Till next time, keep learning, keep listening, and
Educate
educate yourself.